Federal prosecutors are laying out the details of what they consider an illegal Ponzi scheme that two Lubbock financial advisors ran on hundreds of investors.
Testimony is now underway in the trial of Michael Cox and Joshua Allen in San Antonio. They're accused of misleading investors, concealing their high commissions, and lying about the nature of their investments. They deny those charges. Witnesses for the Justice Department testified about the ledgers they analyzed from Ferrum Capital, describing multiple transfers between accounts Cox and Allen owned dating back to 2019.
An IRS investigator told the jury she identified a $3.1 million payout for Cox, Allen, and their business partner Brooklynn Chandler Willy, while investigators took a loss of more than $7.1 million in June of 2019. Testimony will resume tomorrow. KCBD investigative reporter Shaylee Kidwell will have new information on Willy's involvement in the case tonight at 10.